Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
you want to come? I will send you the link.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We thank you so much for agreeing to come and give us this wonderful question and answer session today.
Yes, thank you to you for sending me your questions. I don't speak English since several months, so I'll try, to say something, something nice, something acceptable. And anyway, so I'm leaving like in a couple of weeks. And in India, let's see what can I do, because my life will change completely. Maybe I'll be able to give more video classes, or maybe not. Let's see. Let's see. This is something that has to be. In 6 years, I don't go to India, so I don't know what is expected me. So let's start. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Taline. So I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. So let's start with an historical question. That is the question about the Shalgarba, which is the six sons of Devaki. Can you hear me properly?
Yes,
Oh,
Guru Maharaj, we can.
okay, good. So this is a question that it was sent it to me some time ago. Never had the possibility. And in the Purana, the story about the six sons of Devaki, it's divided in three moments. So first of all, we know that Marichi Muni had several sons and several daughters. We find this in the Purana. And so there was this particular bunch of young men, which are devas. They name, it's in the Purana, Smara, Gita, Parishvanga, Patanga, Shuddha, Brita, Igrini. That was the name of the six sons of Marich. So they were devas, but the devas have some, how you say, some moral principle. So when they saw the Brahma lost composure and started to run after his own daughter, so they laughed at him. So he said, what are you doing? That's your daughter. You cannot do this thing. So you want to have sex with your daughter? That's not acceptable. And then they were cursed. And they took birth in a family of demons. So that's the Harivansha. We know that the six sons of Marichi took birth in the family of Hiranyakashipu. They were the daughter, the sons of what's that, Kalanemi. Kalanemi was one of the sons of Hiranyakashipu. That's you'll find the story in the Harivansha. I have my note in front of me, the second chapter of the Vishnu Parva of the Harivansha. There is the story. The names was Hansa, Suvikrama, Krata, Damana, Ripumardana, and Kroda Hanta. So they perform intense austerity to worship the universal grandsire, Brahma, unbeknown to their own grandfather Hiranyakashipu. So they thought, if we want something, the best person to give us blessings is Brahma, is the first living being of the universe. But they didn't say anything to their grandfather Hiranyakashipu. And Brahma became satisfied with the extreme penances and granted them the boon of protection from death according to their prayers. However, later Hiranyakashipu heard about this incident. He became very enraged and said, you have worshipped Brahma without letting me know. Thus I have no affection for impudent people such as you. Your father in himself will kill all of you. That's the curse. Your father will kill all of you. The father is Kalanemi. So what happened is that it didn't happen in that birth, but in the next birth, where Kalanemi became Kamsa. And the six sons of his son, Kalanemi, became the sons of Devaki, the first six sons. And so Kamsa, without knowing that he was killing his own sons, killed them all. You know the story. Everybody knows the story. So Kamsa killed his own sons. So after some time, Krishna Balaram brought back Devaki's son. Devaki was very sad because she wanted to see her sons. Oh, there is a long story about this. I don't know if we can read it all. Yeah, maybe. In Dwaraka, Krishna Balaram used to greet their parents first day, first daily in the morning. Now Vasudeva has recognized his identity. So after they returned from Kurukshetra, when Krishna and Balaram went as usual to greet their parents, Vasudeva greeted them first. Because Devaki and Vasudeva, they were living in Mathura, but after some time they moved in Dwaraka with their son. So they had the possibility of associating with Krishna in Mathura and after in Dwaraka. Lord Krishna then preached his father about the metaphysical knowledge. There is a very nice discussion by Vasudeva in the Mahabharata. You should know, you should read that. It's like another Bhagavad Gita, but very, very deep. That's Vasudeva preaching to Kamsa before getting imprisoned by Kamsa. And it's very interesting to see, to read how Kamsa knew all of that. Kamsa knew, but he said that this is what I have to do in this lifetime. So that's the message that we get from Kamsa himself, that it was all a pastime. Mother Devaki was also present there. Memory of her 6 children were killed by Kamsa was still afresh in her mind. She had heard that Krishna had fetched the dead son of Sandipani Muni from Yamaloka. This is a very nice story you find in the Krishna book. So she prayed to them, "You both are venerable even to the gods. Kindly grant me my desire." Devaki said, "Show me my 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa." By their mother dictate and helped by Yogamaya, both of the brothers could reach Sutala Loka, because those 6 sons of Devaki, they were in Sutala Loka, which is one of the 7 lower planetary systems. And in that place, the king was Bali Maharaj. You know Bali Maharaj. Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had a son called Virochana, and Virochana's son was Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj is very much known by all the devotees because he participated to the pastime of Vamanadeva. So he gave everything to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu sent him to Sutala Loka. In Sutala Loka, there were the 6 sons of Devaki. The demon king Bali, which was demon because of the family, not because he was demoniac, he welcomed them, Krishna and Balaram, and offered them a seat and washed their feet. King Bali then asked Krishna what he could do for him. And the Lord said, "O demon king, during Swayambhuva Mambantara, 6 sons were born to Urna, the wife of Prajapati Marichi." That's where we got the beginning of the story. So I put the story in chronological order. But in the Krishna book, the story is told differently. They were all gods. They have once seen Brahma trying to copulate with his own daughter, and hence they rided. That's correct in English. They rided or they rided.
Derided?
Derided. At him, indignant Brahma had then cursed them to take birth in in an incarnation in a demoniac family. They therefore were born as a son of Hiranyakashipu. That's Krishna telling the story to Bali Maharaj. In the present era, Yogamaya had made them born as Devaki's son, were killed by Kamsa. They are all now in your loka, your planet. Mother Devaka is mourning for them, so we should take them with us. They will thus be freed from the curse and go back to the heavenly abode. Thus, Lord Krishna and Balaram brought those 6 babies to Dwaraka and handed them to Mother Devaki. Seeing her babies again, Devaki's heart, filled with love for her son, milk began to flow their breast. She breastfed them, drinking that milk, all the babies received salvation. They then, right after taking Devaki's milk, they departed to their original heavenly abode. And they are still in the upper planet. That's the story. Did you like it? Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, in the scriptures we find a lot of philosophy. I have about the 6 sons of Devaki, I have 117 pages. So you can imagine, I couldn't read them all, but I told the story in a resumed fashion. Okay, so that's the first question. Mataji Lavanga, hope that I satisfy your curiosity. So
Yes, thank you.
thank you. So the second is from Govinda. And Govinda wanted me to share a not so well-known pastime that took place during Kartika. These days have been very difficult for me. I have one file only about pastimes in this period. This also is about 100 pages. So this is some time that I have this desire to tell this story, which didn't happen in Antarctica, but happened during Holi, and Holi is like a few months after Kartika. Holi is about March, maybe, and Kartika is about October, November. So there is a story that I was reading and giving some meditation, etc., on this, about a place called Gantoli. I may have told the story a few years ago, but I don't remember when, in which language, all this mess of different language, you got things a bit of mess up. Anyway, there is this place called Gantori. Ganta means not. Not. Okay? That's the meaning of Ganta. And refers to this being the place where the knot was tied. This place, it's close to Govardhan. Again, you should go to see Antoli, like everywhere else that I speak about. But you had to get there. It's no issue. You had to go somebody to know where it is. And there is this village called Gantoli or Gantuli sometimes. Probably, if you go, you have to say Gantuli. And there is one very important kunda called Gulala Kunda. So now I'm going to tell the story of Gantoli and Gulala Kunda. One day, Radha Krishna, accompanied by the gopis, came here to play Holi. by throwing red colored powder, gulala. Gulala means red powder. During Holi, they throw powder of different colors, blue and yellow, etc. But the red color, the red color is the classical one, and is called gulal. During the course of the festivities, Radha and Krishna sat together on a nicely decorated throne prepared by the gopis. While Radha Krishna was engaged in talking together, Lalita Saki, Radha's close friend, sneaked up behind the throne and secretly tied the corner of Radha's sari to Krishna's dhoti. It means getting married. When there is a marriage, man and woman has to tie the sari and the dhoti, and the sari and the dhoti has to be left tied for 1 week. Otherwise, they will be divorced. They will be divorced anyway. But in our culture, tying dhoti and sari, that's the how you say that's a help me.
The sign?
That's what has been done for thousands of years.
Oh, okay.
It's a custom. It's a custom. But you mean, Gurudev, do you mean the sari and dhoti that they are wearing? That they're actually wearing? They don't remove them for that length of time?
All the time, but it's not inside, it has to be put in a way. And so and they should be unknot for 1 week.
So they don't have to wear like they don't have to wear the same sari and dhoti for 1 week.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering because I was thinking, how do they shower? Okay.
No, but yeah, but the dog and the sari are together. But men and women, they put another sari, another dog, and they go about their daily duties. The important thing is dog and the sari, they remain knotted.
Okay.
Ah, they leave that dhoti and that sari at home, yes?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
understood. Okay.
you know, understand. All right. So when the holy festivities came to an end, and time came for Radha Krishna to take up the bath, Gula Lakunda. Gula Kunda, there is this village which is on the right of the highway, on the right side, and Gula Lakunda is on the left side. So you have to cross the street to go to the Kunda, and it's a very popular place where Radha Krishna did a lot of pastimes in this Kunda. When they stood up, to their surprise, they found that their clothes were tied together. At that moment, all the gopis suddenly started laughing and clapping their hands in great happiness at seeing the divine couple tied together, finally married. Sometimes to bestow his darshan, and this is a very nice story that you had to hear. Sometimes to bestow his darshan to his devotee, Srinathaji used to come to this village on the pretext of escaping the hands of the barbarian. Who remembers who Nathaji is? Yes, Mataji.
You were asking who Nataji is?
Srinathaji, yes. This
Not,
deity.
he's the one holding Govardhan Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but Srinathaji is not the original name of this deity. The Srinathaji is Gopala, the original deity of Madhavendra Puri.
Oh, that is true as well. Yeah.
So after when Madhavendra Puri then left and never came back to Govardhana, he left a few disciples to take care of the deities. But after some time, the worship of Gopala was given to Vittalacharya, which is the son of Vallabhacharya. Okay, there is a long story about Vallabhacharya. I cannot tell it now, but anyway, then they changed the name. They changed the name of these deities, and instead of calling Gopala as it was originally, then it was called Srinathaji. And even today it's called Srinathaji, and we, since we are descendant we are in the line of Madhavendra Puri and not Vallabhacharya, we like to call this deity Gopala. The reason why it was called Nataji because during the invasion of the Mohammedan, this deity was hidden in Natadwar, which is in Rajasthan. Rajasthan has a very powerful kings, a very powerful warrior, and they never even tried to invade Rajasthan because every time they tried, they will lose. So the Gopala deity, it was hidden in Natadwar, and that's how it was begun. How you say? It was begun. They began to call it Natadwar. Natadwar means the Lord of Srinathaji means the Lord of Natadwar. Okay, that's why it was then called Srinathaji. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Govardhan, and he had a very strong desire to have darshan of Srinathaji or Gopalaji. At the same time, the priest feared an attack from, this is the story. I don't remember the stories here. An attack by the invaders, so they brought Srinathaji to Kantoli. That's another time when they brought to Gantoli for 3 days. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never, where this deity was installed on top of Govardhan. So who can say, I'm silly, I shouldn't do these things, because I put you in embarrassment. Anyway, there is a reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not visit Gopal on top of Govardhan, but he waited for Gopala to go to Gantoli. Why?
You can't walk on Govardhan?
Because Vaishnava are not supposed to put their feet on Govardhan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give us a teaching, he himself did not climb Govardhan because he is Krishna. He's not different from Gopala, but he came as a devotee, as a preacher. So to give a good example to all of us, he never climbed and he waited for Gopala to go to Gantoli. Okay. And even today, every year, Gopala or Srinathaji go to Gantoli for a few days. So if you happen to be in India, don't miss this festival because it is just nectar of the nectar. This is why his followers, the Gaudiya Vaishnava, do not climb on Govardhan Hill to have darshan of Srinathaji. Sri Rupa and Sanatana never set foot on Govardhan. They lived in Govardhan. They never put a foot in Govardhan. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know that Gopalaji was present in the village of Gantoli, he stayed there for 3 days, circumambulated the deities, chanted prayers, danced, and performed ecstatic sankirtan before Gopalaji. Okay, so to conclude the story, I would like to say something about Gulala Kunda. Again, this Kunda, before there was not a street, dividing Gulala Kunda from Gantoli, it was the same thing. Now they built this street separating Gulala Kunda from Gantoli. So the word Gulala refers, as I already said, to the power bright red pigment. That's Gulal. used in religious ceremonies all over India. Gulal means colored powder. Once in the occasion of the annual holy festival, after having thrown red color and gulal powder on each other, Radha and Krishna came to this kunda near Gantoli village to bathe. After they had bathed and sported in the kunda for some time, the water of the kunda turned gulali. Gulali means reddish, due to the red gulal powder that had been thrown by the divine lovers during the holy festivity. So the whole lake became red. This is how the pond received the name of Gulal Kunda. Now, some acharya say that even today Gulal Kunda is reddish. Okay, I went there, of course, and the point is that it's not a very big lake, but still, it's a medium-sized lake. And at the end, there are some flowers and things, and all these flowers are all red. So the color is how you say it's help me.
Like it's seeped. It's
Yeah, it's like it's the water takes the reddish powder because there are the flowers on top of the water. Okay, so it's very, when you go there, they were building a temple last time I went, and you sit down on the ghat, and you see on the other side, exactly in front, you see the lake reddish, just like during Radha that they were taking bath while throwing reddish powder to each other. So Holi is a lot of fun, you know. Yeah, we should have. Actually, Srila Prabhupada never told us to do Holi. Okay, but it's so nice. Prabhupada never told us not to do it. Otherwise, we won't do it. But he never really said, okay, today we start throwing powder. He never said that. Okay, so we go to the next question. And at the end, you can make any question you want, of course. Yamuna said about the activities in the spiritual world. Would that be like our devotional service in the material world, but now without consequences? For instance, if I get sick from eating too much cake and in this lifetime, will I be able to enjoy cake in the spiritual world without getting sick? Or perhaps we do not even need to eat there. Well, what do you think we take the idea of eating? We know that the material world is a kind of, not perfectly, but kind of a reflection of the spiritual world. If we eat here and we like to eat, it's because in the spiritual world we eat. We don't get sick, because our bodies are not material. The material bodies get sick because they are imperfect. But in the spiritual world, you can eat all gulab jamun you want and you'll never get sick. So, oh no, there is a lot of description of dinners, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everything, and there is no renunciation. You can eat as much as you want because it's all transcendental. Okay.
Thank you so much, Guru Dev, because one does wonder what is it that we do in the spiritual world. I mean, we're just there. Or we do the same things we do now, but in a different way. This is why I asked the question. Thank you.
The best way to figure what's going on in the spiritual world, that we take what we do in the material world, we bring it there, we purify it, we throw away quite a lot of nonsense we do here, but everything is there. People walk around, and there are houses, and there are cars, not not metal cars, they fly with airplanes and this and that. They have bodies. In this material world, we have only 3 or 4 colors: white, black, and red. They say there. If you have read in my book, the Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, you see that there are a lot of different colors, the skin colors in the spiritual world. The pink color with some red and these kind of things. It's extremely beautiful. So everything we have here, we will have there. Not everything, obviously, as I already said. There are something that we have built up in this material world, thinking that we are going to be happy, but actually we are miserable. But the whole activities, relationship, you can have a family and your everything in the spiritual world. You are not going, in other words, you are not going to miss anything in this world. You have the same, perfected, eternal, without suffering, without disease, without old age, and all these things.
Haribol. Thank you.
Are from the idea of other religions or other philosophies where they depict the spiritual world, the paradise, in a very unattractive way, And not only the Christian religion, but also other philosophies say that in the spiritual world there is nothing. A big light, and we stay there. Must be terrible. No? For eternity, you don't do anything. You have no relationships. You don't talk. You don't speak. You don't hear. And it's horrible. It's hell. Actually, there was, I think, I don't remember which great Acharya said, impersonal Brahman is hell. It's worse than hell. So, of course, also the Christian idea of paradise, but it's not nice because it must be terrible to be there with a big guy full of muscles or with a thunder in his hand. If you do something wrong, he throw you down in the eternal hell. Must be horrible, the anxiety, oh my God, what I go to, what I can say, what I can do, I mean, this guy is throwing me in hell. This is not true. That doesn't exist. This kind of paradise, the spiritual world as depicted in the Vedas, are an absolutely attractive place. All right, so we go to the last question, which is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, you already made this question to me. I may remember Ravanga Mataji, but probably my answer did not satisfy you. So I will try to explain it in another way.
It was another question I had sent to you that was about Pundrik Vidyanini before.
Well, the concept of immediately awarding, I remember, maybe it wasn't you. So anyway, the doubt was about the term immediately, and you explained your question very nicely, saying, there are many devotees who have been serving Krishna, some of them, many of them, I would say, very nicely, and they deserved to have Krishna's mercy, but still, you don't see much happening, at least externally. So I will try to explain it very simply. So if I give you money, you immediately receive the money, but you may not spend it immediately because you don't have anything to buy, because you don't want to spend it, you like it to be in the bank, or maybe I will tell you, I will give you the money, but you should wait for some time to spend it because you are not qualified to spend that money that I'm giving you. So Krishna give us, just like taking a bath in Radhakunda. It's immediately you have Radha Krishna highest love. Well, I bathed many times in Radhakunda. Unfortunately, I'm still here in Santo Domingo. Anyway, the idea is that Krishna gave it to me, but I'm not able to, how you say, I still not able, I'm not qualified, I'm not able to use it. So we have this great, how you say, this great treasure in our heart, but we are still not qualified. So this is a very nice verse that you mentioned, because explains what I already tried to explain it to you in a different, with different words. Since, this is Krishna speaking, since I am very intelligent, Ami Vidya, io sono molto intelligente, I am very intelligent. And after he says, Ei Murke Bishaya Kene Diva, but you are stupid. Okay? Murka. Murka means very stupid. And why you are stupid? Because we want material enjoyment. So, but since I am Ami Vigya, I'm very intelligent, why should I give it to you? Sometimes you give it if you are hopeless. You know, Krishna is okay, you are hopeless. Then enjoy for another life to I. Well, what do you want? You want to go in the upper planet and enjoy all the apsaras or whatever? Okay, I will send it to you. It's useless. But you want that, and I will give. But if someone is sincere, Krishna says, Kenediba, why should I give it to you? This is the moment when the devotee is actually advancing in spiritual life. When the devotees advance in spiritual life, Krishna takes everything away. And you became poor, you don't have anything. And what Krishna gives, Svacharana Amrita Diya. Diya means to give, the nectar of devotional service. And someone says, okay, but if I advance too much, and then I think to my past material life, won't I maybe be disturbed? No, this very nice verse. Say, Vishaya Vulaiba. I'll make you forget. When you become a devotee and you advance in spiritual life, Krishna blesses you with renouncement, obliged renouncement, that you lose everything. Okay? And then you submit more to Krishna, and Krishna, to compensate you from your effort, makes you forget material enjoyment. And then you are left only with spiritual enjoyment because you have forgotten about material enjoyment, and you cannot go back because this is the verse, very nice verse, Madhya Lila, chapter, I don't remember, I didn't write it down. Actually, I will tell you because you, okay, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, verse 39, with an extremely beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so here it says the word immediately. So immediately means you have it. When you want it, you have it, because Krishna gave it to you. But how can you use Krishna's mercy if you don't want it? Krishna gave it to you not because you are qualified, but because he's merciful, because you did something And Krishna said, okay, I will immediately give you everything. You receive the mercy, but you are still in the material world. Then you don't take, then you look like you are a normal person, but any moment you want it, you have it. That's the explanation of the word immediately. Krishna immediately awards him love for God that gives him shelter at his lotus feet. This word immediately occurs quite often in our scriptures. And many times the devotee asks him, because this is a very neuralgic, existed this word in English, neuralgic point.
I possibly, but I don't know what that word means.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, is there a different way to say it?
In Italian, I don't have any other in Spanish. Neuralgic means a point that everybody it gets touchy on this. I'll say, oh, Srila Prabhupada says, oh, Krishna says that it's enough to make a bath in Radhakunda. I did this so many times, nothing happens, etc. And they don't understand at this point. This is Sri Krishna explained in this verse. I give it to you, but you still don't want it. But since you did something, when you want it, it's already there. You don't have to do the whole, how you say, the whole sadhana back. You don't have that you have to take birth again as a new, as some Bhakta Joe and begin again. It's there. And you can see that some devotees come in the temple and they're devotees, you know. They just had to enter into the temple. I saw this many times. While there are people that after 10, 20 years, they still don't understand. They still don't understand the philosophy. They still don't understand the importance. And they never take initiation. They this and that. Why? Because they're just not, what they got is not enough to actually, they don't have the mercy of the Lord. While other devotees, they have it. They come in Krishna consciousness, they are devotees. Okay. Well, that's all the 4 questions I answered. So if there are any other questions, I will answer it.
I just wanted to say, Marge, thank you so much for your answers. Explained very beautifully. Krishna's already given it to us, but we have to want it as well, have the attraction for it. So what you were saying, it reminds me of the holy name. They say Krishna is there in the holy name, but we don't have attraction for the holy name, so therefore we don't experience it fully. So it's the same principle applies. So
you read on Chaitanya Charitamrita people laughing and crying and talking and either they are actors, so why they would do that? There is a description of Dvaitacharya with a white beard. Somebody said that Advaitacharya never had beard. Actually, Advaitacharya had white beard. He was very old at that time. He was a prophet, very serious, and he was joking and playing with Nityananda Prabhu on the shore of the Ganges. So why they would do that? Because in the spiritual world there is such a happiness. It's there. But if you don't go in the realm of pure devotion, then you don't get it. There is some very comic picture. How you call it that? I saw some time ago some nice devotee did this picture saying a man kneeling. He said, he was saying, oh, please, God, talk to me, and then there is God in the sky giving the Bhagavad Gita. No? You are looking for God. God is already here. Okay, it's oh Krishna, tell me what I should do. It's already there. Prabhupada wrote 70 books, and there are thousands of books, and there are acharyas, and there are gurus, and there are devotees, and there are temples, there are deities, and there is the Mahamantra, there is the we have everything. We just have to take it. The problem is that yes, we take it, but without pure devotion. That's why we don't advance so much. We don't advance so much. And most important is a good association. Don't associate with people who tell you something different from Srila Prabhupada, even if they are devotees. Don't. You're going to be misled. That's Maya acting to make devotees forget Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the pure representative of Krishna. I'm not saying that he is the only one, of course. Thanks to Krishna, we have, I don't know how many pure devotees right now in this world, but still we are Prabhupada descendants. So we should do things that Prabhupada said. Okay, so basically there is what's the second verse of the Siksham and the Siksham, the prayers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what's the name, what's the word, Sikshamrita?
Shastaka.
Shastaka. The Shastaka. So who knows the second verse by memory? I knew it, but now I forgot. Just tell me the first two words, and I will tell you. Otherwise, you wait. I will look into my.
Nyanya kari bahura niya sarvasya. Yatra pita niya maranena ka.
And the third line, you forgot also. Okay, I will look for it. Shiksham, Shikshastakam. Number 2.
You're gonna mean Sarva Shakti, all energy or potency.
Bhavdani, the Sarva Shaktis.
Tatra pitani jamitas maranena ka. Pitadi sita bhagavan.
Durdaiva midrisham iha jani nanuraga. This verse, what is the most important word?
Which one is it?
No, I'm not asking you. You tell me. In your opinion, there is one word that is the most.
Sarva Shakti, because it refers that Krishna puts all energy in calling. No.
What it means, Nanuraga is the answer to our question. We ask why we are not in ecstasy while we chant, look into our watch when it is 16 rounds, when they finish, etc. This is the answer. Nanuraga is because we don't have love. We don't have attraction. We are not pure. This is, but I am so unfortunate. Durdaivam, that I have no attraction, Nanuraga, I have no attraction. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you chant, doesn't matter if you like it or not. You just chant, and one day you will like it. Because it's scientific. It's not some emotional, sentimental process. It's scientific. Scientific means it can work for everybody. But obviously, if it rains and you have one, how you say, paraguas, how you say that?
Umbrella.
You have an umbrella. You say, oh, no, it's not raining. Look, I am not. Well, you have an umbrella, obviously. The nectar is there, but if you say not too much, because otherwise we not have desire to enjoy my senses. So I want to advance in spiritual life, but not too much. A little bit. That's how we think. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very clear. Why we don't devote very nice question that la Mataji Lavanga made. The why is we don't, he says immediately, but I don't feel anything. Or why? Because in Anuraga, we have no desire. We want something else. So either we become more serious in our sadhana, so then the desire will come. But if you are not too serious because you don't want, it's not that Krishna doesn't like you, it's you, it's not Krishna. It's not that, oh, well, I have everything is you. There are no victims in this world. Everything happens because of you. Krishna is there, as Srila Prabhupada was saying, as hundreds of places on the Bhagavata says immediately is already there. Okay, Mukunda, we had to speak in English today.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Lavanga Maharaj, for inviting me to this meeting. So my question is already has to do with what you are explaining, because is then we have to understand that Krishna responds to the sincere effort of the devotee.
Of course, why you should not? But there is the whole body of reasons why he responds in a way, or apparently does not respond, or really responds negatively, because we are simple-minded. We are simple people. We are not very intelligent. So you said, Krishna gave me this, and Krishna didn't give it to me. Don't mean that he doesn't like me or something like that. There are so many reasons, and because again, I have been talking, I don't remember when, in a video conference about this point, that you don't know what you want, okay? You know that you want to be happy, that's but you don't know how to be happy. So Krishna wants you to be happy, but Krishna knows what makes you happy. You think that you are going to be happy if you have this and that, etc., in the material world. But Krishna knows better than you that if you are going to get it, you are going to be 100 times more miserable than you are now, that you don't have it, because this is how the material world works. Okay, so Krishna knows what you really want. Yes, you want to be happy. Yes, you want to love somebody, loving Krishna, the devotees, the gopis, the gopas, love whoever is in the spiritual world. Of course, you want that, but you replace the gopa, the gopi with material bodies. And then Krishna says, no, this is wrong. This is not going to work. This is never going to work. You have been trying this for incarnations and birth and death, etc., 100 times, always the same nonsensical thing, always the same thing, just like in the story of Devaki and his Shalgadmas. So these children, so to say, who is the father of these 6 children? Maricha, Kalanemi, Vasudeva. Who are the father? None of them. It's all an illusion. The spiritual world never takes birth, so it doesn't have a father. So I'm sure that you all remember the story of Maharaja Chitraketu from the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. When the son of Chitraketu died, and then by the grace of the sages, he resuscitated, And he was like, my son, I love you so much. And the kid said, who are you? I have so many. Which father are you? Or which birth? In the past birth, there's your name, your body, etc. And birth after birth are the same illusion, the same thing happens. Son of this father, and then the son and another father, another father, another father. This is not the truth. The truth is that material world is an illusion. That's and the solution is Manuraga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with one word, na, no. Okay, anu. Anu means obtaining. Raga means love. Nanuraga, you don't want to attain love. That's the meaning of this word cut into different. No, anu, obtain, raga, love. You don't want it. Okay, so
Thank you, Maharaj, for your beautiful answer.
Thank you to you. Your question was better than my answer. Okay, if there is any other questions, we stay. Otherwise, we.
So, Maharaj, I have another question. So the thing is, in the last question I made you, so you reply me that Krishna doesn't answer to the devotee. So now you told me Krishna reply you, Krishna respond. But the last, you remember that? Could you elaborate more about it?
Well, Krishna responds, but not the way you want him to respond. Not the way he wanted to respond. Maybe the 6 sons of Devaki didn't want to be smashed on the ground by their father, But what happened after, basically a few years, they obtain again the upper planets, the heavenly planets, and they are still enjoying their situation. So the price they paid was worth or not, Of course it was, because they did a mistake and they had to pay the price. So they offended Brahma, and then they were destined to be killed by their own father, which is ridiculous, The father, if the father, Ikamsa, had some remembrance of his past life, he would have remembered the Devakis, the newborn, were his own sons. So maybe they were not killed. Then the whole story would not have happened. So everybody participated to his big. So Krishna responds, but his response is more intelligent than yours. You think that you want that, but maybe Krishna says, no, you better not. And you, in the future, you are going to understand why it was better not. Now you don't understand it. You just say, oh, Krishna, why? Why I don't have more money? Why I don't have, I don't know, whatever. Why? Then in the future, you understand why not. It happened to me. It happened to many of us. I'm sure that many much senior devotees, they have this experience of wanting something, and then Krishna didn't give it, and then they realize why he didn't give it.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Govinda.
Hare Krishna, Srila Guru Maharaj. Please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for your extremely potent class, with your extremely potent answers that are just really very helpful. Speaking on the topic of the not wanting Krishna's love, and how you also mentioned good association, and so feeling that being in your exalted association, it feels very strongly that, well, I do. As you're explaining it, like it's something so simple and something so easy that I do want Krishna's love. It's so attractive to me in this moment. But then having been here many times where I feel so motivated, so inspired to just fully surrender and everything, but then knowing that, well, just some minutes later or days later or weeks later, then that feeling kind of passes. And so I mean, maybe this is something you've already explained, is just we just have to continue doing what we already are practicing, or if there's anything else in a way that you can elaborate for us to, I guess, to want to strive for Krishna's, or to want to love, or to want to strive to want Krishna's love in a deeper way.
There are various ways of how you can say this. Sometimes we become dejected against ourselves. Dejected is correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we are not happy with ourselves, because we know that we are supposed to be better and we are supposed to do better. We are not supposed to do this, or etc. And it is right to feel sad and criticize oneself, but not too much. I explained this. I wrote an article some time ago about the difference between no, the word doesn't come to my mind. No? The difference between, you should not become, it is okay being a little depressed, but not too much. Because if you become too depressed, and then you're not the strength to start again, or not to start again, but simply to continue chanting your round, etc. Because we had to understand that we are men, human beings, with all the natural, that's a human nature. This is how material world is, this is how we are built. So depending from our past karma, some of us is very stable, and some of us are not very stable. Some of us needs more physical association, some other, you had the mantra, you had the books, you were, whatever physical association is okay, but it's not vital. Or we are very different people, and so we had to not become too dejected, or we become depressed and we lose strength. Do you understand the point? So the point I was making is that it's perfectly normal to be unsteady. Today you're in ecstasy and tomorrow you go to the cinema, whatever. And because this is human nature. However, we are devotees not to be humans that are devotees, but the opposite. We are Vaishnava that still we have a little human nature in us. And this comes with time and effort. There is no magic wand. There is nothing that so many times that people, oh, bless me so I can become. There is no magic wand, because Krishna did not want to force you to be in the spiritual world. So how can somebody give you something that you don't want? You have to want it. And the way you want it is that you follow the practices of Bhakti Yoga independently if it's easy or difficult. Today you like it, tomorrow you don't like it. You miss something or somebody, then you lose your spirituality, and you're going to pay you this. It's not that it's material enjoyment is expensive, very expensive. You can lose the whole life for some little stupid thing. So the only way to advance in spiritual life is to be determined to do what you have to do. We know what we have to do and what we should not do. We know that. There is no other way. And about association, you have to choose the right devotees, no? Because time is changed. During Prabhupada time, there were the devotees and nothing else. Devotees and non-devotees. Now there are so many different types of devotees, or so-called devotees. I hate that, you know. I like the Srila Prabhupada times where there were devotees and non-devotees. But everything was very simple. One guru, one type of devotee, temple, was so beautiful, so ecstatic. So don't be, just because somebody wears a dhoti does not mean that it's a good association. It's not difficult to understand who is a good association, who is a not good association. It's very easy, very, very easy. I can tell you in minutes if this is better to associate with or not. Because, you know, there are symptoms which are very clear. Okay, Yamuna, you raise your hand.
Yes, I did, Guru Maharaj. I was just wondering on this topic, how is it our own personal spiritual life as opposed to the spiritual community of our temples? Because sometimes, you know, we're not so confused or disillusioned by our own, you know, beliefs or spiritual practices, but sometimes things are going on at the temple that we don't feel comfortable with, and we feel estranged from our community. So how, you know, how important is that community, and how do we keep our Krishna consciousness going despite the community, or is it absolutely necessary to integrate into the community? And could you comment on this, please?
This is not so easy because there is not only one answer. Many different answers are possible depending from the devotee, from you in this case, depending from the temple, depending from so many variables. Okay, so there is no one answer to this question. In general line, I can say that it would be easier to overlook if a temple is a bona fide temple, and talking about ISKCON temples, not all ISKCON temples are good, of course, but they are ISKCON temples. That's our family, that's our house. So are they all good? No, they are not. Or are all the devotees very good? No, they are not, but still this is our house. And with some humbleness, you try to adjust yourself without sacrificing your spiritual life, of course, to adjust to the environment, to the human environment. You know, humility, always being humble, almost always work, you know, because you become like punching ball, you know, you receive a good, and you are, okay, Hare Krishna, you know, inside you, you know that you are right, that they are wrong, or sometimes they are right and you are wrong. You have to take that as a possibility, because we are not always right. But there is one point we should not, one point that we cannot, how you say, imprescindible, existe, imprescindible.
Like impenetrable, like you can't.
We cannot give up. We cannot lose.
Oh, okay.
It's a devotees association. That's a firm point. Doesn't matter what. Of course, if you go to a hippie temple, which is just because it's called Hare Krishna, don't go. That's obvious. But there are certain symptoms very clearly, and that also a senior devotee can see very, very clear to see if that is a weak temple or a deviated temple. It's very easy, very, very easy. So if you have a weak temple, not in your case, we are not talking about you, but in general, if there is a weak temple, you should be humble and stay there, because even if there is something wrong, still there is a lot of right things, and you can receive spiritual advancement even if the things are not many, it's so easy to see if a temple is bona fide or not. It's not difficult. If it is prasadam, they are vegetarian. There was one temple in America, they were cooking meat. That's obviously totally unacceptable. So please, everybody, be humble and try not to lose devotee association, even if this association is not of high quality. But the big difference between not so high quality and not deviant, give it up. If it's, the other one, and also they don't chant anything rounds, or they don't have shika or this kind of thing, that's bad, but it's.
So, Gurudev, I think the core of the question is, I'd like to know, can we have a spiritual life without the association? Or is our spiritual life as part of the Hare Krishnas or ISKCON integral with the association? And without association, it doesn't really exist.
Right. Well, this is a very good question. It depends very much. It depends very much from you, depends how you live your life when you are not with devotees. Let's establish a general principle. Krishna is not an ISKCON god. Krishna is the god is Jagannath, is the god of everyone. It doesn't matter if you are black and white, a woman, man, if you go to the temple or not, Krishna is always there. Still, you had to be very sincere towards yourself, because if you make mistake, you can lose your spiritual life. It's a very serious business. Then you had to see if it is your ego, it is your physical, psychological, emotional difficulties, or it's just you don't want to accept something that you don't agree. There are so many things that I didn't agree. I've been in ISKCON for 50 years, 50, 50. No, 15, And if you want, I can write a book on things that I didn't agree, that things that I didn't like, But I'm still here. I'm an ISKCON devotee, and I will die as an ISKCON devotee. So what does it mean? Could I be a devotee without ISKCON? Yes, but I don't want. I think that Srila Prabhupada, because being a devotee is a mercy from the Acharya. It's not your choice. You are a devotee if you get the mercy from the Guru and from the Vaishnavas, And I don't doubt for 1 second that Srila Prabhupada wants all the devotees to be part of his movement. Again, if you don't want to be in ISKCON, are you a demon? Are you fallen? Of course not. You can be a devotee, but it's very risky. It's very risky, because at the time of difficulty, there is something that you don't see, but there is the devotee's friendship, or like we call the mercy, the kindness. You have difficulties, and if the devotees know that you are difficulty, and even if that you don't see them, if they send you a smile, you're going to get this mercy. You can, being alone, not even Krishna wants to be alone. Krishna is always with Radharani and the gopis and gopas. He wants so many friends. So again and again, can you be a devotee alone? Yes, but it is. I don't advise this course of action. I would advise to be humble and try to be with devotees as much as possible.
Thank you very much. Very good answer, Gurudev.
Mataji Lavanga.
Maharaj, you are talking about how the sons of Marichi, they laughed at Lord Brahma when he was chasing after his daughter. And I heard this pastime mentioned in a Bhagavatam class, and the speaker said that Lord Brahma's fall down was categorized as accidental. And so I was wondering if you could define what is an accidental fall down according to Shastra, because just reading the pastime, he chased after her. It seems pretty intentional from the material senses.
This is another not easy question that doesn't require, it won't require only one answer. I will give you a couple of them. So first of all, independently of the philosophical explanation, which in this case it is an accidental fall down, it is just because Brahma was not a pure devotee, or it is that his daughter was particularly attractive, or Yogamaya put Brahma in the situation, or maybe she was, even Shiva, fell down with Mohini Murti, and then we discover that Mohini was Vishnu. So we should be careful of reading explanation without making those explanations ours. I will try to explain at this point better, because it is very easy to be misunderstood. They say, oh, Manonatha says that, we should not listen to the scriptures. What I'm saying that sometimes the acharyas say things that we should not say, because the acharya says it because they have a purpose of saying those things, like in the case of Chotaridas. Chotaridas fell down, etc., because he was a traveler. So historically false. Chotaridas never entered into the house. Madhavi Devi was more than 80 years old, and he was about 20. So there is no 20 years old boy who can be attracted to an 80 years old woman. And she was an extremely elevated pure devotee, and he was an extremely pure devotee. So why, and as a young devotee, I bought, but because I was reading different explanation, why Srila Prabhupada said that Chotaridas fell down? Because a sannyasi who have a relationship, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu treated him like a fallen devotee, because they had to teach us that if someone is a sannyasi or a renounced and associated with women, it's a social starter, okay? Because try to think sannyasi who enjoy, with women, etc. What happens? That the real renunciant will not be respected. Just like what happens during Advaita Charya. time, Advaita Acharya called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because people want respect. Renunciant. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas to teach us what it means to be a sannyasi. So in the case of Brahma and his daughter, I won't for 1 second think that Brahma fell down. He is the first of our Acharya. He's the one who created our Sampradaya. I cannot think for 1 second if he fell down. So what am I supposed to read the explanation of various Acharya saying that he fell down? Yes, I can think, but I really don't care. Because what I should care, is respect Brahma at the utmost, just like I respect Chaudhary Das as a bona fide sannyasi. Because this is what is good for my spiritual life. I risk my spiritual life thinking that Brahma, the first guru, our Sampradaya, fell down for his daughter, only thinking about this. Can you think how ridiculous it is? That's why Marishi's son, that they laughed, I think, because it's ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that they didn't think that actually it was happening. There was some the Supreme Lord intervention and made Brahma become confused. And this is the safest way to think about this episode. We should be very opportunistic and think about our spiritual life first. What is good for me? Just like a Yamuna question answer. What is good for you? There are many devotees who have nothing to do because they don't chant any rounds. So they start to write about GBC, a GB no, a GB maybe, and this and that, with hours talking about this, about that. Why? Because they got nothing to do. So they're not taste. That's why they are interested into this kind of things. So if you go in a temple or if you see Brahma running after a woman, what is best for you? What is best? Are you going to risk your life thinking, oh, Brahma, Brahma couldn't control his senses. And anyway, he doesn't even have a gross body. So he has a subtle body, so he doesn't have sex like that. That's why he never had one physical son. All his sons are from part of his subtle body. We know that from the Bhagavatam. So how come he was running after what to do? To do what? If he reached her, what he was going to do? So this is something that we should be opportunistic, if this is the right word in English. First of all, think what is good for me. If I go to the temple, it is good for me or not? Or maybe I should protest because the devotees are not so good, etc. This is not good for you. The good for you, you go to the deities. And there are deities, and there is prasadam, and there is kirtan, and there is the class, and there is everything. That's what the devotee should see. Everything else should be noise. Noise around, butterflies, and you just chant, and then go, and here you go. Brahma ran after his daughter. Well, there's Bhagavatam tell you that. But if you don't want to risk your life, better you think that it was a lila. There is a last, I can make hundreds of examples. I remember when Srila Prabhupada said that man never went to the moon. We are talking the 70s now. And in my temple, we were all very young devotees, we were 18, not even, we were all teens, most of us, some was 20, 22, so very childish. And everyone, and many were saying, oh, maybe Srila Prabhupada was wrong. Maybe, how is possible? I saw it. I say in the TV, you saw it in TV. You also see in TV many things than just TV. That doesn't make it true. So we had this kind of a meeting between God brothers and discussing and down this point. And two or three of us, me included, we made this point. What is better for us to accept that we don't understand why Prabhupada said that, or risking our spiritual life saying that Prabhupada was wrong? If Prabhupada was wrong, it's not that a pure devotee is not Krishna, can make mistakes, But I would never think, not for 1 second, that Srila Prabhupada made one mistake in his life, in whatever he said. Why? Because it's better for me not to think that. Because this is the intelligent way of doing. Who remembers the story of the rope and the snake? Lavanga Mata, do you remember?
Rupa Goswami?
No.
Oh.
It was the lesson in Mahabharata. Govinda knows, I can see in his face. He remembers because I told this story several times. There was a guru disciple. Guru was speaking, of course, disciple, and the room was not very. It was a little dark, and there was one rope on the floor. And the guru said to his disciple, "Oh, there is a snake. Go take a stick and kill it." The disciple turned and saw that it wasn't a snake, it was a rope. He got up and took the snake and beat the rope. And then he sat down again. And the guru, after some time, said, "Oh, there is a snake. Go take a stick and kill it." And again, he did it 2, 3, 4. He never asked, he never said, "Gurudeva, you're wrong. It's not a snake, it's a rope." He never said that. He never thought it. He thought only, if Gurudeva saying this, must be right. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. In your mind, it should be that it's right. This is the best way to advance in spiritual life. So now, should we, to conclude at this point, because some of us who are more logical, should we accept things blindly? Because some of us say, okay, I understand your point, but that means accepting blindly. If I see that the snake was wrong, to say to the guru it's not a snake. These are two levels. There are different levels. There is one level when you use your intelligence, your discrimination, and then you don't accept something if it's wrong. And at this level, it is right that the disciple tells the guru, "No, this is not a snake, it's a rope." Okay? But then when you do advance in spiritual life, you start entering into the rasa world, then everything changes. In your heart, in your mind, you are living another life. The way you think, you are already above the logic. You are above and you enter into the world of rasa, or love, or service, that doesn't depend on your understanding or not. It depends on your heart. Not always the heart and the intelligence are on the same, on the same
Platform.
Wavelength.
Yeah. So they're not always the synchronization.
Yeah, synchronized or synchronicity.
Right, that's not synchronized equally. You are married with a nice woman. You tell her you are the most beautiful. Probably she's not. But your heart say, because you like her, then your heart says she is the most beautiful, though she is not. So as you see, the sentiment. And in this case, we are talking about spiritual, the sentiment or love. And your intelligence, they function differently. All right. So if you are at the beginning of spiritual life, please use your intelligence. Don't take initiation from somebody for it. Don't accept anybody as a spiritual master if he is not able to convince you philosophically. But when you are advancing in the spiritual life, you are already convinced. You don't need to be convinced. Now you have to start to love your guru. You have to love the deities, to love the devotees, to love Krishna. This is how our spiritual life goes through, how you say,
Stages.
and every stage has its own rules. Am I? Could I be clear?
No, that's very clear. There might be a second part to my question, but I need to first meditate on your answer. And then if I have another part, I will message you later.
Sure. Okay, Mukund, I think.
Yes, Maharaj. Very nice answer. For me, in the ninth series, Bhagavad Gita, Piche Sudarachado, Vayante Manganadhyama, is very nice explanation about this point. I'm satisfied with this, and I can argue with other, contests, but I feel satisfied with this Apiche Sudarachado. Nice series, something like that. But I have another question. I would like to hear you explaining us about Madhya Lila 2022 chapter 34. Sadhu Sangha, Sarvasatri Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. So you already explained some time back, but now I would like to hear something about this verse because the question of Mataji Yamuna Devi.
So what is the question?
So the explanation about the test 22, chapter 22, test 54, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila.
But
Madhya Lila. Is no?
This verse does not apply to everyone. It
Oh,
applies,
you said? Okay.
because otherwise we go in the middle of the street and any bum you will find, oh, you are a spirit soul, you originally Krishna.
Oh, this verse is not about Sadhu Sangha. Madhya Lila, chapter 22.
Yeah, it's okay,
Test.
but I know, but the
Okay.
point is that the sadhu, what it means to be sadhu. We cannot think that associating with any Bhakta Joe is the same as associating with very advanced and senior devotees. Are two worlds completely.
Yeah.
Actually, the first type of association can harm you. If you associate with bad devotees, you are risking your spiritual life. You should not associate with bad devotees. And what it means to be a bad devotee. Oh, we can be here up to midnight. The point is that the devotees, they are pure. When they talk about Krishna. They don't criticize anything or anybody. They talk about Krishna, talk about philosophy, talk about the leelas of Krishna. So we had to find sadhus. If you find a sadhu, you are very lucky.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay, I think that we can conclude here, or we have the last question, as you prefer. Okay, Govinda, last one.
Okay, I thank you very much. I think this will be I hope it's a simple question, but reading a little bit of Mahaprabhu and how merciful Lord Chaitanya is and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and how we just meditate on them and how they're the Yuga avatars and different things, and just by calling their names, we're purified. So then, I guess wanting to understand why is it that we first understand Krishna, like why, like the order, we read Bhagavad Gita, then we read Srimad Bhagavatam, and then last is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why is
Richard Amrita is the best of all the Charitamrita, so the stories about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There were 7 biographies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita was the last one, the 7th. So if you read Chaitanya Bhagavata or Chaitanya Mangala, you understand why. Because there are pages and pages and pages of description about ecstasies. And at the end, you feel uncomfortable because you don't understand them. Because unless you feel the thing that they are described, 1 page is okay, 2 pages okay, but at the end you feel like you are out of place, you know. What am I doing reading these things? I don't understand them. I don't feel them. At the end, you can even very easily do offenses because it's so intimate. It doesn't. Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are descriptions of ecstasies, but it's very philosophical also. If you read the first chapters about Guru Tattva, and then how the incarnations and everything is very, very. Then when you arrive in Antya-lila, then there are some. Srila Prabhupada does not write much. Doesn't write in Antya-lila as much as he wrote in Adi-lila. Why? Because we need philosophy. At the beginning of our spiritual life, we don't need description of ecstasies because we don't understand them. Philosophy we can understand. You know, we are intelligent, we have culture, but just the ecstasy is a description of that's not for us.
okay? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all for your attention. We'll see one day, you know, you are free to write to me, and the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be quite busy. So if you write to me, it might take some time before I answer, but I will answer. I have 1 file with all the questions that I received. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Sugrasya Manana Maharaj Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.